Hi, welcome to Home Yoga. I'm Michelle and this is Frances. And today I'll be taking you through a sequence leading to Warrior 3. So this pose is very strengthening for the abdominals, the legs, and the back, and also can improve balance and coordination in your body. So it will be helpful to have two blocks today. So if you have access to blocks, go ahead and get those set up. So beginning with a warm-up for Warrior 3, I'll take you through a few of the important actions in the body to use throughout the entire sequence as we move towards the pose. So start on your hands and knees with the shoulders over your wrists and the knees right under your hips. And reach out through your left leg. So you can see Frances reaching all the way back through her heel and gently lower the left hip towards the mat. So think about rolling the left inner thigh up towards the sky so the hips are really square to the mat. And then reach the right arm forward towards the wall in front of you, lengthening forward through the fingertips, gently drawing the low belly in towards the spine and continuing to reach out through the left heel. Lower the right hand towards the mat and then the left knee back towards the mat, and we'll take the second side. Reaching back towards the right leg, again really extending through the back of the leg and gently rolling the right hip towards the floor to find those square hips. Unweight the left arm as you reach it forward, and you can see really reaching forward from the shoulder blade, lengthening all the way towards the wall in front of you, lengthening through all four sides of the torso. Lower the left hand to the mat and the right knee towards the mat. And then release back towards Virabhadrasana, child's pose, release the back, and just take a few breaths. As you inhale, float the right leg high behind you, three-legged dog, and bring the right knee forward, coming into a low lunge, bringing the foot between the hands and lowering your left knee. As you inhale, reach the arms up overhead, lengthening up through the fingertips, lengthening up through both sides of the waist. And as you exhale, open the arms wide, interlacing fingers behind your back. Press the knuckles down towards the floor as you lift your heart on your inhale, opening up across the chest. On your next inhale, reaching the arms high, floating arms overhead. Exhale, float the hands down, framing the front foot, and lifting the right leg high to three-legged dog. Open the hip and bend through the knee, bringing the heel towards the tailbone and lifting the right knee towards the sky. Extending through the right leg, returning to your downward facing dog, squaring the hips towards the mat. On your next inhale, float the left leg high, three-legged dog, and drawing the left knee forward, coming again to your low lunge, releasing the right knee towards the mat. Inhale, reach the arms high, drawing the belly in towards the spine. As you exhale, open the arms wide, interlacing fingers behind your back, and again, open across your chest as you press the knuckles down. Big inhale in the space around the heart. Reaching the arms up overhead, fingertips towards the sky, and exhale, palms framing the front foot, stepping back to your three-legged dog with a nice open hip, bending through the knee and bringing the left heel towards the tail. Lengthening through your left leg, we'll return to downward facing dog, taking a breath here. Really pressing the floor away with your fingers, with your palms, reaching your sitting bones back towards the wall behind you. Floating the right leg high, three-legged dog, really keep the hips square here. So allow the right hip to continue to move down towards the floor. And then bring the right knee forward, setting up for crescent lunge, rooting down through your feet. On your inhale, reach the fingertips up towards the sky, high lunge. So your body weight is in between both legs here, pressing the left heel back towards the wall behind you. As you exhale, float the hands down towards the mat and take your blocks for a little bit of extra height as we move into Virabhadrasana. So just place the hands on the blocks, start to lengthen your right leg as you reach the hips back and really stay long through the spine. So rather than folding deeply over the leg, really think about length as if the spine could reach forward out of your pelvis. Bend forward through the right knee And from here, we'll just move back to our downward facing dog, bringing the palms to the mat, lifting the hips high. So floating the left leg high, three-legged dog. Again, square hips here, so the left hip is dropping down. And then bringing the left knee forward, coming into our crescent lunge, rooting down through the left foot and reaching the arms high. Lengthening up through both sides of your waist and just finding your breath here, finding your focus. As you exhale, float the arms down towards the blocks, setting up again for Parsvottanasana, pressing the left hip back as you lengthen the left leg. So really gently drawing that left hip back, almost pinning it back. So you can really find the square hips here, which is preparing us for our full pose of Warrior III. Bending through the front knee, we'll return to our downward facing dog. Palms can find the floor, lifting back. And taking a breath here in Adho Mukha Svanasana. On your next inhale, float the right leg high, again, three-legged dog. Bring the right knee forward, and fingertips can stay on the floor for your lunge. Feel free to also use the blocks to bring the floor a little bit closer to you, and we're going to move into a version of Warrior III with the blocks to really learn the alignment of the legs. So from here, start to pour all the weight into the right leg, moving into your Warrior III, lifting the left leg away from the mat. So again, square hips here. The left outer thigh is rolling down towards the mat. The inner thigh is rolling up towards the sky. And your standing thigh bone is really pressing back to allow those hips to square to the floor. Continue to lengthen forward through the spine. Bending through your right knee, we'll move back towards our lunge. And then the hands can come down to the mat and return to downward facing dog. Moving to the second side, lifting the left leg high, three-legged dog, and then bringing the knee forward for your lunge. Hands can move to the blocks just to bring the floor a little bit closer to you. As you're ready, move forward to your Warrior III, pouring all the weight into your left foot and allowing the right leg to float away from the mat. So really just working on the alignment of the legs with the left thigh bone pressing back and the right hip rolling gently to the floor. Drawing the navel gently into your spine. And then bending through the left knee, we'll return through our lunge to downward facing dog. From here, let's just take one simple flow, pressing forward to our high plank pose and lowering all the way through our chaturanga. Feel free to lower the knees or keep them lifted, and then moving to upward facing dog, shoulders over the wrist, just to really open the chest, release the back, and then pressing back to your downward facing dog, lifting the hips high, releasing the heels down towards the mat. So moving through our final sequence, moving to our full Warrior III, let's lift the right leg high, three-legged dog. Use the core to bring the right knee forward, coming this time into your crescent lunge. So plant the right foot between the hands, reach the arms high towards the sky. Gently drawing the right hip back and finding your focus ahead of you. Moving the hands together at the heart, and then moving into your full Warrior III, pouring all your weight into your right foot, allowing the left leg to float away from the mat. The left hip gently drops towards the mat. The spine continues to lengthen forward, and the chest is still broad, kind of like a bit of a cobra spine or an upward facing dog in the upper chest. Bend through the right knee, coming back to your crescent lunge, reaching the fingertips high, lengthening up. And then exhale, reaching towards the mat, palms coming down to the floor, stepping back to your downward facing dog. Again, we'll move through one more flow, pressing forward to your high plank, lowering through your chaturanga, and then inhaling to your upward facing dog, broad across the chest. Exhale, pressing back, downward facing dog. Lifting your left leg high, three-legged dog, and drawing the knee forward, setting up for your crescent lunge. Rooting down through the left foot, reaching up through the arms, lengthening up through both sides of the waist. And as you exhale, palms meeting at your heart. Moving towards Warrior 3, pouring all the weight into the left foot, lengthening into your balance. Pressing down through the left foot, but lengthening up through the left thigh bone and the muscles of the left thigh. Finding your breath, finding your focus here. And then returning to your crescent lunge, bending through the left knee, reaching up through the fingertips, light in the upper body. Exhale, palms coming down to the mat and stepping back, downward facing dog. Lower your knees to the mat and find your way back to Balasana, child's pose.